YouTube, what is going on? Today is Tuesday, May 16th. Why is that date special? Because your girl is the big 2-4 today. It is my birthday. So typical day, I still went to work, followed my macros. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, what are you gonna go do tonight? And you know, like, I easily could have tried to go out, tried to just fit in like chicken and broccoli or chicken and veggies or something. That's usually what like my meal would consist of if I went out. But like right now, I really don't have that desire. I'm just sticking to my meal plan. I'm just so close. Like next week is already peak week again. I'm so close to like just the finish line for this next show that it's just not worth it to me. Like I'll do the same kind of thing that I did after the last show. I'll go out to dinner and then I'll kind of be pretty loose on that Sunday and then I'll get back at it because then it's prep for junior nats. And then there's only like 2 weeks after that until junior nats. So it's like, there's like times when I feel like I can enjoy myself like within this time frame. So like it's really not that big of a deal. Like instead of cake, people got me flowers. I got flowers for my family, and I don't know what Brett got me yet. We'll see when he gets home from work. At the Cubs game, Brett got me a hat. He got himself a hat, and he got me tickets for my birthday. And so we're here, and we have a great view. Let me show you. Right along third base, so we're true Chicagoans now. True Lakeview residents.
Been to a Cubs game.
Yeah. So I got myself a big Diet Pepsi, and I'm looking at everybody eating their hot dogs and popcorn, but you know what? It's okay. It's all about the experience. Am I right?
You're right. And I got a regular Pepsi.
Little brat. But yeah, so we're excited to be here. It's a beautiful day. It's super windy, but it's like 80 degrees, so it's perfect. And got my lift in early, and now we're just gonna enjoy. Thank you, babe. Love you.
You're welcome.
Can I kiss you with a hat?
I don't think it's gonna work.
Stop.
There we go.
What I wanted this video to be about is the difference in my preps when I prepped myself and now versus having a coach. Number one, coaches are expensive. It's no joke. It's an investment. And that's another thing. Like, if you decide to prep, good for you. Number one, I hope it's for the right reasons. And that could be a whole nother video. But number two, you have to make the financial commitment to a prep. So there's a lot of hacks where you can save money in certain spots. But one of the biggest things that people plan to save money on is they say, oh, I'm gonna do the prep myself. And yes, that can totally be done. I did it the first time around, did really, really well. Got first in my class, first in novice, second in true novice. Like, cool. I looked good, but there were certain things that I didn't have the eye for myself. You are your own worst critic, hands down. Like, I think anyone can agree with that. You're your own worst critic, and it's hard to look at yourself objectively. Meaning, it's hard for me to look at myself every single day, every hour of the day, and notice those vital changes because I'm still focusing on my flaws. And when you have a coach, that's someone who can take a step back from the situation. They're not there with you every day to see what's stressing you out. They're not there really looking at how, or they don't like internally feel what you're feeling. Like sometimes I'll feel super bloated and super watery and I'll send photos to Casey and she's like, girl, you look fine. Like you're just stressing out. You're actually depleted. So like go eat more food or whatever. And those are things that I never would have noticed myself. So yes, a coach is costly. I highly recommend going and researching different coaches, looking at their price breakdowns, but also looking at what is included in that price. Why is one coach so much cheaper than the other one? Do they not give you training? Is it just nutrition? Is there any posing advice? Is there any peak week plan? Those are all things that you need to take into account, because you can go with a coach and you're dead set on macros, and then all of a sudden they give you a cookie cutter bro diet, and you've already paid your money. You're kind of shit out of luck on that one. So you really need to do your research. What meal plan are they going to put you on? Is it going to be a meal plan? Do they do if it fits your macros? If so, do they only stick to whole foods? Like, what kind of plan do they provide to you? Going off that, a little bit of what I just mentioned, what the plan entails, you want to make sure it's as comprehensive as possible so you can get the most bang for your buck. Like, my plan, not only does it include weekly nutrition, sometimes daily updates on my nutrition and how I'm looking, but it also includes a little bit of posing. She gives me great advice. She totally changed my routine and brought it up to the national standard, which I thank her for 100%. So there was posing included in that. Obviously, my training split. She gives me a training split every single week that I follow, which is altered based on my progress. So you really want to make sure you're getting everything that you require for a prep. And then next, I want to talk a little bit about credibility. How to know if a coach is credible? Well, step number one is take a look at their competing history. Have they competed before? If so, how long? In what division have they competed in? I mean, if you're a bikini competitor, you probably might want to go to a bikini competitor coach if you're looking for that route, which, I mean, that would easily make the most sense. But then there's also like those whole comprehensive coaches that not only do they coach bikini girls, they coach bodybuilding, all those sorts of things. So you want to make sure that they're credible, they have certain certifications, they know their nutrition facts, they're science-based, research-based for sure. As an OT, I'm a huge proponent of science-based knowledge. I want to know why you're doing something, and I want to know what that's doing in my body so that I'm looking a certain way, or that my body is responding a certain way. And I would love for that to be backed by research, because obviously research is the holy grail, and that's the only way to really gain sufficient knowledge of why something is working. So are they research-backed certifications, like I said, and really just their history. Look at other people who they've prepped. You can easily find this nowadays through Facebook, Instagram, anything. People are constantly tracking their progress, and they usually are giving their coaches shout-outs. So you could always reach out to the competitors themselves and be like, hey, I'm really interested in your coach. What did you think of X, Y, and Z aspect of your prep? Did you enjoy them? How did they respond to you? Those are all really big things. So now you can reach out to other people pretty easily just through like a quick message or something like that and ask what they thought of their coach as well. And once you narrow it down to finding a coach, like, okay, cool. Say you found 3 coaches that you really, really like. You've researched their plans, you know the pricing, and you've even maybe reached out to a few of their prior clients. The next thing I want to stress is how timely they are with you. If you email them and it takes them 2 weeks to email you back, all right, red flag. Because how do you think they're going to respond to you when you're their client? I mean, yes, maybe that as soon as you pay them and you have shown that you're invested, then maybe they'll amp it up. But do you really want to risk it? Probably not. I would look for someone who responds to you within at least 48 hours. Because then that shows you that they're interested in you and they're invested in their own business. People who don't take their own business seriously, I don't tend to take seriously. So if you're that busy that you can't get back to me within 48 hours, then that's just a really big red flag to me, and that's not someone I want to invest my money in. So look for someone who's timely. And if they do respond back to you in a timely manner, good. That's good. But then make sure the follow-ups are just as consistent. you that they're just as invested as you are, because not only are you going to be giving them your money, you're going to be giving them your time, but most importantly, you're going to be giving them your body to give you like your nutrients, your training. Literally, you're giving up your entire health to this person. You want to make sure that you trust them wholeheartedly and ask them any question that you have. They should be able to answer any concern, any diet restriction, any comorbidities that you have, any health issues. They need to know everything about you. So next, I want to talk a little bit about how my preps were different with now having my coach and then when I coached myself. Coaching myself, I think I've mentioned this in a few videos. It was okay. It was really stressful. I'll put it that way. Number one, it was my first prep. So I knew what I was doing because I watched like a lot of videos on YouTube, and I really tried to educate myself because I didn't want to go in like totally blind. And I knew what tracking macros were. I knew the basis of everything. But I went in blind in the sense that I didn't really know how altering my macros would make my body look when my body looked depleted, when I looked full, when I was holding water. It was really hard for me to really identify what was causing those that they have, like I didn't have. And so when I didn't feel good, it was hard for me to look in the mirror, separate myself and my opinion from what I was seeing objectively in the mirror, and I would just push even harder. I would lower my macros even lower. I would have more lower carb days rather than increasing a carb to do another carb cycle. Like, I was just pushing so hard. And that's what I did at the beginning of this prep too, before I got my coach Casey, is I was pushing myself so hard. And I look back at the photos and I'm like, holy crap, girl, it doesn't even look like you had any muscle because your muscles were so depleted and you were still like 6 weeks out. So as soon as Casey got a hold of me, she immediately upped my food, immediately put me in a better hormonal state, immediately put my body in a decreased cortisol state with that increased nutrition. I was able to train harder, train better, and more efficiently to give me better results. And immediately I looked fuller, I looked tighter. I finally was showing off the muscles that I've worked so hard in the off season to gain. I mean, like, come on. I want to show off my muscles, you know? Even in bikini, like, you gotta have that muscular foundation. So that was a huge difference, is that I was just pushing way too hard. And you never want to push yourself to the point of breaking. So I kind of want to wrap this up and just say that I think having a coach is spectacular. It's totally changed my prep. It's changed my outlook on prep. It's given me longevity in my season. I don't know if I would have done another show after the one I just did. If I pushed that hard, like 6 weeks out, God only knows like how I would have felt come show day, or how I would have even looked. Like, that's just tragic to think about. Having a coach has totally changed things for me. It's made me a better athlete, and it's an investment. I'm not gonna lie to you. So that's something you have to plan for, and it's something you have to budget for, and I highly suggest that you budget it in, because I can tell you all this stuff, but you really won't know until you do it yourself, or until you do your first prep and you don't have someone there giving you updates. You're not sending your weekly check-ins to someone and knowing if you're doing the right thing. It's really hard to know if what you're doing is right when you're doing it yourself. And maybe with time I'll be able to prep myself, but like, even the pros have coaches. My coach has a coach. She slays and she knows her shit, but she has a coach, because just having that third party perspective, it's game changing. It's a game changer. So to wrap this up, I think having a coach is worth it. I think you should thoroughly research who you're investing your money in. The cheaper option isn't always better. So take from what I learned, watch other people's videos, research their coaches, really just invest in yourself. You've already done all this work to get your body in a prime, optimum position to do this cut, to do this prep, to lose this weight, give yourself the right tools to achieve that. So yeah, that's basically all I have. Not sure how long this video is going to be, and I hope you enjoyed this Taylor Rambles version of Transform. So like I said, maybe I'll come out with another video of one of my upcoming workouts. And then it's peak week again, fam. Peak week right again. So I'm really excited, and show day is May 27th. So next show day is coming up, and I'll see you then, and all along then. All right, guys, like, subscribe, thumbs up, share. You know what to do. All right, adios.